Am I live? I swear to God, I swear to you, okay, if the audio is not working for this after all the hassle I went through, I swear to God, I'm going to lose my shit. All right, I promise you, I'm going to lose my shit if the audio doesn't work after everything I went through right now. All right? Man. So anyway, thanks to those joining me live, and to those that be joining me on archive. I got it from Apple Ted that the audio is good. Holy shit, you guys have no idea. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have issues before, but Bam Bam tweet about, man, like an hour ago. Put cool. I got time to go get a sixer. I see you on 30. I came in late. Okay, Underground Asylum. This time, what's the deal? Cousin, salute. Apple Types audio is good. Good to go. Bam Man Tweed. Bam Man Tweed's still around. We're still going to give you guys a show. It's just late. It's later than expected. Right? I went through hell and back. I had to uninstall a bunch of shit from the laptop, and it's crazy. Crazy. And then I finally got it working, and then it doesn't give me the green go live button. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And this episode is brought to you by Manzanita Sol. That's right. So good. Anyway, I promise you it's not made out of Marcus's piss. I promise you. Right? For those that waited at 10 p.m. Eastern, I do apologize. Some unexpected stuff happened. I was only supposed to be about 20, 30 minutes later, and then I was having all these other issues, but we made it happen. And there's always archive at the end of the day. So make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button. All right? All right, make sure you throw that jab at that like button as you come in. Moderators tell people to throw jabs at the like button as they come in. All right? Check it out. This is Mexican Tuesdays. I almost gave up, man. I almost pulled an AJ on this shit. Just gave up. Like, I swear to God. I almost put my arms around the fucking ropes and said, that's it. I'm done. I almost spit out the mouthpiece and said, I'm done. I'm done. And then, man, I got a lecture, right? I got a lecture from Floyd Sr. to say, what the fuck's the matter with you? What do you mean you're going to give up? Right? You got people waiting to throw jabs at the like button. They're utilizing the jab. And you're talking about how, this, that, and the third. No. Okay? Man, this was by far the most stressful 30 minutes of my life. Okay, but we got a show for you tonight, that's for sure. Okay, let me just first, I got to play this. We're going to play this. So just give me a second. All right. I didn't get a chance to prep this part. All right. But check it out. All right. You can knock this son of a bitch out right now. But quit wasting time, man. Use your fucking jab, man. Use your jab. Right. Use your jab. Use a damn jab. Throw it. Right. So I just heard it there. It played great. Piece to wall, get the smoke. Okay. First, you got to take a knee, says get the smoke. There you go. All right. But yeah, we're here. I took the Ruiz route and stayed. I got up after the knockdown and I finished the sheet. All right. Check it out. Got some stuff to cover, man. First, I have this. One of my subscribers was like, well, what about Pedro Moreno? This guy's 12-0, 7 KOs, right? And I was asked, hey, why don't you do a prospect watch on this kid? This kid is, let's just get this started. He's ranked number 327th in the world right now out of 1,690. Okay, in the world. This is at 140 pounds, super lightweight or junior welterweight, whatever you want. I prefer to call it junior welterweight, right? It is, and he's number 59 out of 268 fighters in Mexico. He's only 21 years of age. He's 12-0. 7 KOs, as I mentioned, orthodox fighter. He's from Jalisco, Mexico. Zacalco, Jalisco, however you pronounce that. Not even I can pronounce that. That's some super like native shit. Man. Okay, this he's a little bit of a mix here. Like I said, I'm gonna be very, very blunt here. He's a kind of a mix of a brawler and a boxer, from what I see. He hasn't fully found his identity. It's pretty clear. He's trying to. It seems to me like he hasn't quite found what he's gonna be. Va a ser boxeador o fajador? I don't know. Okay, he does fight in patterns. Okay, that's the first thing I noticed. Right, this kid fights in patterns. He tries to mask the patterns, right? And I think he has to work better at that. You don't want to be too much of a pattern fighter as you start going up the ranks. You know, any solid fighter is going to figure out your pattern, okay, and expose you, right? So it's so far the guys he's fought, he's been able to overpower and over strength and just use superior boxing skills in them, right? But I still notice a lot of patterns here. I like his right hook to the body. He has a really good left hand to the body. Um, they're both pretty good. Okay, a two-handed fighter when it comes to hitting the body. He does circle a lot right and left. He does mix that up a little bit, and that's what I'm talking about. Masking. Okay, the pattern from what I've noticed. Okay. He's good at making some of the guys, at least the guys I saw him fight, they're not very high quality fighters, not world class fighters, that he makes them, follow him a lot, right? If you don't know how to cut off a ring, he moves pretty well. Okay. I haven't seen him from the film. I've tried to gather. I have not seen him in there with someone who truly knows how to cut off the ring. Right. So he needs to definitely work on that. Um, Moving around the ring, utilizing the ring better, because even though the guys are just following him, man, he still gets trapped on the ropes, gets hit a lot to the ropes. He leans on the ropes a lot. So I don't know. I don't think that's a particular good idea, especially as he starts going up the ranks. I think that's a habit he needs to get rid of. He has a decent right cross, right? Has a good right to the head, then he goes to the body off of the orthodox position. I do like that decent right cross from what I've seen. He is open to the hook on the inside. I saw a fight of his that went a couple rounds. He stopped the guy with a body shot, but man, was he getting hit a lot with hooks. Okay, on the inside, and then with the right hand from mid range, he gets hit a lot. I've seen get hit with the right hand coming in, and then with the hook when they were inside. He does trade a lot. All right. I don't recommend trading unless you have very devastating power, but he does tend to trade a lot. All right. He can work definitely on tying his opponents up. Not something he does. Like I said, he leans on the ropes. He tends to try to fight off of the ropes. He could utilize a little more clinching. Clinch a guy, walk him to the center of the ring, and that's where you want the fight to be. But if anything, he has to work on his movement too. He is very open, right? When he lands a punch, he looks great. When he misses the punch, and that's how you really tell that this is the real true test of punch placement, right? When you throw a punch, right, if you miss and you're off balance when you miss, and you're wide open to counters when you miss, then you're not doing a really good job selecting those punches. Okay. I mean, if you're going to throw something like that, either you better be sure you're going to land at least on gloves, right? But this kid misses a lot. And when he misses, he's off balance. Okay. He squares up a lot when he brings his punches back as well. All right. So that's something he needs to work on, man. It's a really bad habit, right? He looks very sloppy when he misses. He'll come in, he'll lead with uppercuts. It looks very sloppy. Very. And even the guy he fought, who was, journeyman, was catching him, countering him with hooks, and even though he won that fight, he did stop the guy with a beautiful left hook to the body. It's when you step up, Okay, those windows, those large windows, like when you throw an uppercut and you're wide open, man, are you gonna get eaten alive? I'm not even talking. Forget about the top 10. Okay, forget about top 25. You do that with any top, 100 fighter in the world. Okay, they're gonna expose you bad, right? So I think this kid. Another thing, he throws a lot of single punches, right? And he does, and not all fighters do this, but I think he telegraphs himself a lot when he does this. All right, he almost always goes psh, 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 psh. Like he always does that. Okay, when he throws a 3 punch combination, it never fails. Psh, psh, psh. Like and it's he throws singles, he throws 1-2s of different varieties, and he goes with the 3 punches at a time. All right. If he throws a 3 punch combination, the guy has a guard up, he tends to throw 5 punches. All right. That's kind of the pattern I caught with a lot of the fights that I was able to find. Now, granted, a lot of these fights were like in his 5th professional fight. One was like his 7th professional fight. So, he's 12-0 now. He may have improved a lot of these things. But from what I saw, he has a lot, okay, to work on. I like he has a really good left to the body. Then he goes upstairs with the right. All right. He tends to go to the body to the left and upstairs to the right, or he goes to the body to the right and then goes upstairs with the left. Okay, that's another thing I noticed. I think he needs to mix that up a little more because it's a little predictable. But again, he's only 21 years old, 12-0. All right. Good regional fighter right now. I know he's from, he's fighting in Southern California and he's doing his thing. I give this kid about a 12% chance to become world champion. All right, that's what I give him. DStyle's giving him a 12% shot to becoming champion. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up the chat back up. Sorry about that, guys. All right, what's up, Chief Funk 84? I looked at your dude, man. I mean, he look, he's young. He has a lot to work on. And am I giving him a shot to become world champion? Okay, so that's a prospect watch on your dude, bro. All right, that's a prospect watch on him. He has a lot to work on. That's what I'll say. All right, but which prospect doesn't? All right, you never know. He might improve and get that profile up. And I think he needs to stay at that level for at least another 5-6 fights before he moves up in competition. That's just my opinion. But that's what I'll say about that. With that said, getting that prospect watch out of the way, I want to do, all right, very early, because they're going to be fighting, man, on the 27th. All right, Jose Ramirez versus Maurice Hooker. Okay, these guys are going to be fighting in, well, what is it? Well, we're on the, what is the 9th today? So 3 more weekends, and these guys are going to fight. All right. So I want to give an early preview to this. 140 pounds is stacked right now. All right. It is. 140 pounds is definitely stacked. How's the audio right now? Can you guys tell me? Because the thing has some delay on my side. I want to make sure the audio is good. Okay. Before I continue. All right. Oh, I'm sorry about that. The name is Pedro Moreno, 12-0, 7 KOs. All right. That's the name of it. I think he needs to find his identity. Are you going to box? Okay. Are you going to be a boxer puncher? Are you going to brawl? What are you going to do? Right. And I think he needs to work on getting rid of a lot of that pattern behavior. That's just my opinion. Okay. And, but again, when he lands those punches, he looks great. But you got to pay attention when he misses. Okay. He needs to work on that a little bit. But just a prospect. Okay. Prospect can improve. Right. They can get better. Okay. I'm sure that when, I don't know, Salido first started, he didn't look that great. You know what I mean? He learned on the job. But Salido did start at a very young age. So this kid's already 21, so they got to pick it up a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. With that said, Let's go ahead and talk about, because that's a prospect at 140 pounds. Now let's talk about the top fighters at 140 pounds. All right. The King 140 left to go conquer another division. All right, at 147. His name is Terrence Crawford. Right. He decided, okay, I collected all the belts. I'm a belt collector. Now I'm done. And I'm leaving. Right. And he left behind this division. And I remember people were like, oh, what's going to happen now? Well, man, it's become one of the most exciting divisions right now in boxing. All right. And if you look at the current landscape right now, all right, Victor Postol still considered top 5 in the world. He started 1-2 with 12 KOs, right? We all know he got schooled. He got taken to school by Crawford. Like Crawford dog walked Victor Postol, okay? He put a collar on him and dog walked him to school. He walked him to school that way. He just walked him to the school, all right? That's what happened in that fight. Okay, pretty easily handled Postol in that fight. And, of course, Postol also lost to Josh Taylor by unanimous decision as well, okay? Jose Ramirez, we're going to be talking about him in a little bit. You know, a lot of people will have him like a consensus 4 or 3. Maurice Hooker, another 4 or 3. It's really, you could switch those two however you want, but the top 2 many consider, right? Either Josh Taylor is 15-0 with 12 KOs, or Regis Prograis at 24-0 with 20 KOs. Man, that's a very high knockout ratio. All right. You guys got to understand, the higher you go in weight class, a higher percentage of knockout ratio is more common. The lower you go in weight class, a high percentage like that is not very common, right? So for 140 pounder, that is pretty common. And he is ranked number 1 in the world. Those two are going to fight each other. We're going to talk about those guys at another time, okay? So let's set them both aside. All right, we're going to go ahead and talk about Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker. We're going to go more detailed, all right? All right, as we continue, the fight's not till the 27th, right? Jose Ramirez, 24-0, 16 KOs. He has a 67 KO ratio. He's from Avenel, California. These are his last 3 fights. February 10, 2019, he fought Jose Cepeda. Okay, Cepeda, whatever you want to. Cepeda is the right way to pronounce it. Who was 31-0 with at the time, and he won by majority decision. That fight could have gone either way. And many even feel that Cepeda got the short end of the stick, right? But I will tell you, man, Jose Ramirez did not look really good in that fight. It was an exciting-ass fight to watch, right? But he was getting caught in the ropes a lot. Cepeda put some real serious pressure on this guy, and he wasn't going anywhere. A lot of people felt Cepeda won that fight, right? So I wouldn't call it a rob or anything. Honestly, I think the fight could have gone either way. You know, Ramirez showed me a lot in that fight. He showed him, you know, you could, even with guys who don't have the best performances, they could still show you something about themselves. You know, he showed me he had guts. You know, he showed me he had heart. Fighters, you know, fight. You know, but now he has to show me, can he go and improve? Can he go work on these deficiencies in the gym so he doesn't find himself that often in these bad situations? Because there's a lot that Cepeda did in that fight that I feel like Hooker can also do, if not do better, right? So that's something to think about. He also beat Antonio Orozco, who was 27-0 at the time by unanimous decision. And we all know the beatdown he put on Amir Imam for the vacant WBC title that Terrence Crawford left behind, all right? And he was able to win that championship. I mean, he put a beating on Amir Imam. I believe he still had Freddie Roach at the time. And man, that beating he put, I mean, it was a beatdown. I was kind of surprised. I thought it was going to be more competitive than what it was, you know. And people, well, Amir Imam already lost, you know, but I still felt like he could put up a better fight than that. And I mean, Jose Ramirez just came out and beat the piss out of him. All right. Chen Smoke in the house. What's going on? Underground Insider says, I'm making my bet off your analysis. So what are you thinking, Hooker versus Ramirez? Damn. All right. Bad tweet. Regis best right now, and he can move up to weight eventually. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's a big junior welter, but a lot of unfinished business, man, right now. That's Jose Ramirez. Now, Maurice Hooker from Dallas, Texas. Texas, stand up. Texas, stand up. Yeah, Texas has been producing a lot of fighters lately, man. It's crazy. But just saying. All right. He's 26-0. All right. 17 KOs, 59% KO ratio. Not bad. Given the fact that he has some draws in his record. Just to keep that in perspective. On March 9th, on my birthday, okay, he beat Mikhail, who's of 21-0, right, by unanimous decision. But the fight that I feel you got to look at, if you really want to compare and kind of give you a preview as close as possible to Jose Ramirez, is the Alex Saucedo fight, who was 28-0 at the time. He knocked him out in the 7th round, all right? Now, positive things, man, that right hand of Hooker looked great. All right. I mean, it was on point, the right hand, but he was getting caught a lot. He did kind of throw defense out the window in that fight, And I think it really came down to who was going to hurt the other pretty bad to put him out. And he made it that type of fight. I think he made it a little harder than he had to, but he made it hard like that. And it was, well, I understand he showed that he could stop somebody. He also got hit a lot in that fight. That fight was a war, man. He won that fight by TKO in the 7th round, right? But as far, before that, he won the WBO, the one that Crawford left behind, okay, against Flanagan, right, by split decision. Okay. I think Hooker won that fight, but it was competitive. Both these guys, man, I think with this fight, both of them have they both won vacant titles. They didn't beat somebody for the belt, but they've been putting that work though. They got in this tournament. They've been putting in that work, and they've defended the championships against some pretty solid opposition. And now them facing each other, I think, is the accumulation of whoever wins this fight. It's going to be they're both real champions, but they're going to be like a legitimate champion by fighting each other, because they're going to beat another guy for a title at that point. And so it's a big unification fight. And my early prediction for this fight, all right, I think Ramirez is going to win. I think Jose Ramirez is going to win. I haven't checked, but I believe he's still training in Oxnard with Robert Garcia, okay, unless he switched again. I know he left for Roach because Roach wasn't giving him enough attention or something like that, and he wanted to get the proper attention that a world champion should get, or whatever it is. Each fighter makes their own decision. But if he's still, I believe he is. Can anybody get a confirmation on that? I think he's still with Robert Garcia. But if he's still with Robert Garcia, I mean, he's going to have someone who always has a game plan, right? I think Jose Ramirez can take the best shots that Hooker has. Okay, I think he can take that right hand, and I think he's going to lure Hooker into a brawl. All right, Hooker might start off boxing, but he's going to put pressure on him. I think Jose Ramirez is really good at cutting off the ring. Right, he comes in. I mean, the way he kind of, he'll kind of paw jab and he ducks low, and that overhand right of his, man. And it's always on target. Always lands right in the sweet spot of the jaw on his opponents. He kept catching Amir Imam with that shot over and over again. I think Maurice Hooker's open to that shot, especially if he could just keep that fight mid-range. Okay, and he just slices through that range like butter, man. And he comes in with a right hand over the top. I think he's. Look, Ramirez hasn't stopped anybody lately, so I'm kind of iffy about calling a stoppage, but I think it's going to stop him. I think it's going to stop Maurice Hooker. Okay, I think it's going to stop him late. I think around the 11th, 12th round. But if he doesn't stop him, all right, he'll win a decision. All right, because it's not, I don't want to say definite he will. I just have a feeling he will, but either late stoppage or it goes to a decision. I think he wins a unanimous decision. I think he outworks Hooker. I think they're going to exchange a lot, and he's going to force Hooker to exchange. And while Hooker can get the best of him in some of those exchanges, I think it's going to make him uncomfortable as the fight progresses. Right? I think Jose Ramirez has better punch resistance than the Alex Salcido did. I also think he could put punches together in the pocket better than Alex Salcido did. So I just think it's going to overwhelm him a little bit. Lure him into make it a brawl. I think we're going to have a fight of the year candidate in this fight. But I think it's going to be the type of fight Jose Ramirez wants, right? And even if Hooker comes out and says, I'm going to box smart, I still think he's going to be lured into that. Okay, I don't know if he can handle that pressure. And as good of a boxer as Hooker is, I don't think he can sustain pressure and just outbox a guy for 12 rounds. I just don't see it happening, right? If that was the case, I think he would have done that against Salcido. But that's just my opinion. Okay, that's just my opinion. He is with Robert Garcia. Okay, cool. I was pretty sure he was, but I wanted that confirmation. I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. I think it's going to pressure him. Look for that overhand right of Ramirez. Right now, speaking of right, Hooker has a really good right hand, right, which is going to land on. It is going to land on Ramirez, right? It is, but I think Ramirez is going to walk through those shots. I think he's going to walk through them. I think it's going to discourage Hooker a little bit. When he's landing it and the dude keeps coming, and then he's going to be landing back, man. Whoever has more success with the right hand is going to win this fight, right? I bet you anything. So I see this fight being fought in mid-range, but I see Ramirez just cutting through the range from mid-range to the inside. He's going to be landing that right hand, right, and working that body. I think both of them will be banging to the body on the inside, and I feel Ramirez is going to win this fight. Okay, even though I didn't think he did not look very good in his last fight. Right, he didn't. Cepeda, put that work on him. Arguably won the fight. And I get that, right? I do. But I think Morris Hooker's going to try and trying to box the guy, and I don't think it's going to work, right? He's going to be lured into Ramirez's type of fight. And I think Ramirez wins. I think he wins that fight. All right? Anyone knows who the favorite is? I have no idea who the favorite is. Right? I have no idea who the favorite of this fight is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty close, I want to know, if anything, the over-under is probably the one to bet on. Okay, I don't know what the over is, but if the over is anywhere if they give you round 9, if they give you 9 as an over, I'll take it in a heartbeat. Because even if there's a stoppage, I don't see either guy stopping the other guy early, right? If they give you an over after 9 rounds, that's a gift, right? If you get an over around 10, 11, forget it. Don't even do it. But anything in the 9, I would take it. If you get any lower, take it, right? Without a shadow of a doubt, right? Yes, these guys, look at their knockout percentage, 67% for Jose Ramirez, and then Morris Hooker, 59%. But a lot of those are early in their career, a lot of those knockouts, So when they went up in competition, I haven't done the percentage, but if you take their last 5 opponents, it's not a real good knockout ratio for either guy. All right, so the way I see it is the over. If you have 9 rounds or less, it's the way to go. Right? Either guy, if you could get 2-1 with either guy, I'll take it. That's a hell of a bet. This is as even as a matchup as I've seen at the championship level for a while. Okay, this fight is even, in terms of. I wouldn't say 50. No fight's really 50-50, but 55-45. I think. Scrapbook Boxing in the house. It was good. DStyleBoxing Conversations support this great channel. Absolutely. What's up to Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens? I have no idea if Hooker's training with Bud. That's a good question. I have no idea. Now, if you ask me who the best in the division is, I think everybody has it right. I think Prograis is, I think, definitely, when it comes to the eye test, he looks like the best fighter in the division to me, right? But to make it official, they got to make the fight happen. So, you know what I mean? I want to see the winner of like Prograis and Tater. I want to see fight the winner of Hooker Ramirez. You know, and even though it's an unofficial tournament, you know, that'll solidify it. And we're gonna have all the belts. Let's collect all of them. Fuck it, right? So that's the way I see it. I know Timothy Bradley came out, you know, after the Ramirez Cepeda fight, and he came out and he talked about Prograis will give Ramirez that work that he ain't ready for Ramirez, right? But I don't think he has a choice. If he's already the champion and he wins this tournament and he beats Hooker, he's got to fight Prograis. There's no other way around. He's got to do it, right? He's got to do it. Hooker or Ramirez has to fight him, or Tater. They got to fight these guys. I don't want to hear this nonsense that they're not ready. I'm done with that shit. Okay, you want to be a champion? You got to fight these dudes, man. All right, you got to fight them. Point blank, period. So what's making this division exciting? What's making it exciting is that despite the fact that Crawford had all the belts and then moved on, you know, it's the division really got it heated up. It got exciting, you know, and we have these names now that, you know, you got Hooker versus Ramirez, and then you still have Josh Tater, you have Prograis. I mean, you have these four guys. And then on the outside, you have a Victor Postol, but he could kind of stay on the sidelines for now. And you have some guys coming up at 140 as well, right? So the way I see it, you get these four guys all got to fight each other, and they are. That's the crazy thing. Like Hooker Ramirez is about to happen on the 27th, 3 weekends from now. It's a unification fight. You know how many years we wait for a fucking unification nowadays? It's going to happen already. And that's what's making this exciting, right? And then with Prograis and Tater out there, it's making the whole division exciting. The whole division's exciting. So I'm excited about that. All right? And that's all I got to say for now. All right? That's all I got to say for now. I will... next week, I want to look at the betting lines. I want to look at the fighters themselves. Watch a little more film and give even a more detailed breakdown. But as of right now, you know, I got Jose Ramirez winning this fight by either late stoppage or by decision. All right. I'm 50-50 with one or the other. And I also believe it's going to be a hell of a fight. Okay, I do. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. And yes, I'll be doing play-by-play for that fight too. You best believe. Okay? Best believe. All right, bunch of people saying, what's up? What's up? What's up? Man, anyway, I can't even begin to tell you guys the shit I went through to get this fucking video started. Unbelievable. I mean, it's insane. Speaking of that, I got to get rid of all those messages. I'll just notify you guys. Make sure you vote on the polls. Vote on the polls. Vote on the polls. Eric Morales, Bernard Hopkins, Miguel Cotto. Who's going to join those three next week for the main championship poll? We got Roy Jones Jr., the clear favorite. Wink, you're right, the dark horse. I mean, does he have a shot? I don't know. And then you have Paul Williams and Frost that are just trying to stay alive. They need at least 10%, okay, to advance or to stay alive to, you know, be on the poll next week. All right, so that's what we got right now. Okay, and so far, let me just go over the results so far. We got 64 votes in. Roy Jones Jr. has 59%. Paul Williams has 9%. Winker Wright has 22%. Frotch has 12%. Frotch is just hanging in there. And Williams really needs some votes. All right, like he needs some votes to stay alive. And we're going to see him around next week, right? So that's that. Roy Jones is clearly going to advance from what I see. The question is who's going to stay alive. But you never know. The polls will close Thursday at the end of the show. That's when it's going to close, right? So just keep that in mind. And that's that, man. And then, of course, as an update, June 12th, a storm is coming. It is Timothy Bradley week. Tomorrow, make sure you join myself and Calix. It is Calcast, right? Trying to think of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I honestly want to talk about. I don't know how many of you guys. I don't know how many of you guys, ever saw my videos, the most ridiculous things about Rocky, but I don't know. I'm actually thinking of I gotta ask Alex, but see, we'll do the most ridiculous thing about the Creed movies, because it's a lot of Rocky movies, man. They're a trip. But we might talk, some lighthearted stuff, talk about the Rocky movies, the ridiculous shit that happened, and just see what the chat has to say. Or if a breaking news comes out, I'm waiting for I'm waiting for Canelo to announce who the fuck he's gonna fight. Is Ruiz Joshua gonna be official any day now? Like, it's a lot of things we're waiting for. And but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't even know what to say, but what are we gonna do? All right. So with that said, guys, I know I started late, but we got it through. We got it through. And what's Paul Williams? Hakuna Matata. Is that what he said? Is that what he said? Batman Tweed really wants the Punisher to stay around. And Scrapbook does have Ramirez winning that fight as well. There you go. I think a lot of people are rolling with Ramirez, man. But don't. I'm telling you guys, this is a close fight. All right. It's not etched in stone. Right, I'm not telling you, there's a 100% chance. No, the forecast is not Ramirez wins 100%. It's like 55, 60% shot he wins. All right, so he's a favorite in my opinion coming into this fight. But don't count out. Do not count out Maurice Hooker. Right, don't count him out. All right. With that said, guys, I'm gonna roll out. It is late. It is getting late, but just wanted to get this, out of the way, man. Ridiculous Rocky conversation. Absolutely. This is a year of the upset. Absolutely, Bam Tweet. No doubt about that. Right? This is DStyleBoxing. I'm out, guys. Remember, esto es boxeo. I'm out.